Welcome back. Welcome to our second segment. This segment is for Trade of the Week, and this is for the weekend of March 7th, 2026. As always, we like to, for our futures traders and our option traders for the short-term trading, we can see how nicely our gaps are playing. We see Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. Now, Friday was a big, again, institutional day, and that was, we could talk about the non-farm payroll, but we still closed half of the gap, and you can see there was a support right here, became resistance. So we did fill half a gap, so that's the good news, but we still haven't filled it. And we went right to the support at 67.32. Um, the other thing, it was Employment Day and non-farm payroll. As you know, we have our non-farm payroll strategy at 7:30 Central Time, 5:30 Pacific Time. The numbers come out. This was the high and low of, I used the 2 minutes, this is and then I transferred to 5 minutes. You see, this was a high and low, 68.0650 to 67.65. And what we have is about 41.25 range. So the idea is once we break down either side, the bracket, it's a good time to take the trade. So now again, you could have used a 2 minute, even 1 minute chart. So the idea is generally we take profits at a half of the width, or it could go all the way full. So this line is exactly equal. I mean, this line represents equal width of this bracket. And here we are. And where did we go? We went right to that and bounced back. Right, went back right to the lower edge and bounced on and off. And we could not even push up to almost half of it. So basically, again, these come into picture. So I hope you're using these strategies. Also, our gold trade. Now, what happened was this is on Thursday. So anytime you had bought on Friday, you would have had a very nice move in gold. And just the idea, this is from before, like the employment. I just did a little play. I generally I don't recommend right around the news. This was right before the news, just to give you some psychological idea. We had some more trades, but the idea was there's a lot of volatility coming in. This is at 8:26 before the markets open. And basically, what we look at is I like to just um, kind of tippy toe and get my feet wet, and we use like a micro. So this is just the idea, and then we have our targets, and we played. It was pretty good, and you can see once we sold, our targets were hit, and then we had a sell-off. Actually, it went down. So as far as the ETF of the week, of course, it's kind of obvious, energy related. The XOP production, it was up 7.5%. On the other hand, the silver miners SLVR was down 16.3%. The Wisdom Tree Cloud Computing WCLD was up 7.4%, and the copper miners, the COPX, all these miners were down 15.6%. Again, we're looking at gold. Gold is an important place. We can see the turning line and standard line. They have consolidated. They have contracted right here, but we are above the cloud. So we still, the bias is positive, but we have been consolidating. So this upper edge of the cloud could um, offer support. So um, our target would be 491 for the upper, and the lower edge will be about 487, or I mean 467 or so. So now, as always, we want to look at our Magnificent Seven and also Micron. Again, we're looking at the 6 months based on relative strength. Believe it or not, now just recently we see that Microsoft has had a move as well as Amazon broken above their 20-day moving average. Meta has been consolidating flat moving average on 50 and 20. Micron has been very strong but broke below its 20, and you can see RSI has become negative. Nvidia also flat and RSI negative, and Tesla below its 20 and 50, and RSI down. And then Apple. With Apple, we broke below that 262. We had 257. Is it possible we will go to that 245 zone? We are broken the 20 and 50-day moving average. So we are in a crucial support right now. We'd like to see a bounce. So generally, you have to remember we've come a long way when you look at it on a weekly basis. So, and Magnificent Seven, our ETF, also representing all of the stocks, is below its 20 and 50-day moving average. And Google, the same thing, is which was a strong, is below its 20 and 50-day, and we got a dead cross there. So once we look at the expected move, we see Apple is right on the lower edge of its expected move, right there. And when we look at clouds, we see on Apple, we are right on the lower edge of the cloud right here. And we do have a little hammer and basically a hanging man. And we are looking at this support here. We'll see if we go back to 61.8, would that create a support and maybe a buy? But we do have a big resistance at the 265 area. So, and then DMI negative has crossed the positive. Meta hit the upper edge of its expected move and then sold up and stayed inside. And Microsoft, on the other hand, had a strong move. So on the short-term RSI, you see why, and went outside this upper edge of expected move. Nvidia flat for the week, right on where it was had started, hit the upper edge and then sold off. As far as Tesla, right in the middle of the expected move. And then I want to talk about this Elbit, which is actually now is one of the largest uh, market capitals in companies in Israel. And look how far we've come, a 50% move in matter of like 3 weeks. And this is a defense industries. It's the really for the from the aerospace to the space, from like a helicopters to land to cybersecurity to Navy. I mean, they are providing the navigation and the tools for intelligence, and you can see how fast they can move. And there's been a lot of money, a lot of orders, a lot of back um, blocks orders are in the back order. So that's just an Israeli company I wanted to share with. And you see, we respected there was a squeeze right here. A wave went positive, and the squeeze broke out, and then the rest is history. The only thing is we're touching upper edge of the two standard deviation now, but the slope is upward. So whether this will continue and then we will have actually a bigger slope, or could we have some profit taking? Scan for the squeeze for this week is our S&P Midcap 400 based on their technical strength. And we see like Alcoa and Murphy Oil and Spire Inc. So these are some ideas. Last week we had still a lot of earnings. 125 of them moved higher, 215 moved lower, 138 reported positively, 118 negatively, 34 positive forward guidance, 30 negative. So basically, we did have one important one last week was that Broadcom, Avgo, and it actually missed the expectations. And there was Costco and CrowdStrike, and then we had Credo and Marvel, which missed expectations. So this is how they behaved. You see that Marvel, based on relative, Marvel had a big move up. Again, it's not about what you have done for me, what you're going to do for me next. And in the future, Crowd also a big move, hit against a 50-day moving average. The reversal for Costco and Avgo, right against this 50-day moving average. And then we have Credo against this 20-day moving average. This week, we still got some really good ones, whether it's the Oracle on Tuesday or Adobe on Thursday, Campbell's and Neo and Kohl's and Zim. So we got few. If you want to play the calendar and horizontal, there are a few volatile stocks, including Kohl's. And then, so Oracle is a big one. It's expected to beat Adobe also. And then Neo is expected to miss. We got Hewlett Packard, another one technology, Sentinel, and is expected to report in line. Kohl's, and we have Rubrik is expected to beat. So I hope that was helpful. Again, I wish you a wonderful weekend and wonderful week ahead. Bye now.